seems like every meal starts with chopping up an onion. One day I will get ahead of myself and have these prepped ahead of time. I'm not gonna hold my breath though. Here's a quick look at the ingredients for tonight's dinner. This is one of the easiest, what I consider to be a staple meal in our house. It's goulash, American goulash, and I know it's controversial because everybody makes it different, and no, it's not your traditional Hungarian, but I am just using some diced tomatoes, a pound of ground beef, chopped up onion, elbow macaroni, and a jar of salsa. And then to go with it, we're having some New York Texas toast. This is going to be a true one-pot meal today. I am tired. I just want an easygoing day, and that is why we're having goulash. I just went ahead and threw my onions in now. I'm gonna season it up with some minced garlic, some crushed red pepper, some black pepper, some salt, now I'm just gonna break all that meat up into smaller pieces so it'll cook a little faster. Next, I'm adding my can of tomatoes and my jar of salsa. And I didn't show it, but I'm also going to use a box of beef broth as my liquid. And all three of these ingredients are cold because they were in the fridge, so I'm going to give them a minute on the stovetop to come to like a boil or a hard simmer before I add my pasta. I have a very small amount of jalapeno peppers left from the garden. This is the very last bit. So those are going in now. It's about the equivalent of one large jalapeno from the store. We do like our goulash to be on the spicy side, and I wanted to use that last pepper up. I am coming back in with a jar full of just water, just getting the little bits of that salsa out and adding just a little more liquid to my pot for that pasta to cook in. And here is my plate for dinner with some of that goulash and some garlic bread on the side. Okay, you saw me getting my smoked sausage cut up into bite-sized pieces. I just added that into my casserole dish with these frozen diced hash browns. And then I'm using a can of cream of mushroom soup and a can of cream of celery. Normally I would use cream of chicken, but I don't have any. I'm also using about a cup and a half of sour cream. For this one, I'm doing some garlic powder. Some black pepper. I'm going to attempt to mix it all together. I'm going to add in some cheese. And first of all, I'm just going to use up this little bit of mozzarella. Why not? And then I'll get into my cheese bin. I'm just going to cover it and put it in the fridge for tomorrow. You know who my favorite person is right now? That lady that made up this casserole on Sunday so that dinner would be ready to go in the oven on Monday. And like I mentioned, I just put some foil on it, stuck it in the fridge when I got home today. Well, Bill actually got home first, so I asked him to take it out of the fridge so that it could sit and come up to room temperature before I put it into the oven. Definitely don't want to put a cold glass casserole dish into a hot oven because it will explode. Ooh. Let's get a spoonful of this and see how cheesy it is. Oh, it's so creamy. All that sour cream and good stuff in there. Well, dinner tonight is a big bowl of cheesy potatoes and sausage. I just have some cube steak in the skillet with some oil, and I just seasoned them up with some seasoned salt, garlic powder, and some pepper. Into a saucepan here, I am just adding a tub of already prepared mashed potatoes from Sam's Club. Just gonna heat them up. And we're gonna have those on the side. Keeping it very quick and easy. I have really overcrowded my pan, but as you can see, they're kind of shrinking up and they're gonna fit. It's just taking a little bit of movement and readjusting. And I'm just gonna start flipping them over. Now I'm just going to start adding some sliced onion. And I just have them in rings. For the gravy on these cube steaks, I'm just adding a can of cream of celery and a can of cream of mushroom. Christmas came a little early at our house, and I'm super excited about some of the things that I'll be able to cook up in this little dandy thing here. This is the Ninja Foodie Possible Cooker Pro, and I'm not allowed to open it yet, but it was delivered to my house, so I'm super excited about that. And today is our Christmas celebration with our kids and grandkids. So I am just getting this super huge roll of ground beef cooked up. We're keeping it easy and having walking tacos, and I volunteered to bring the taco meat. I'm just going to cook this in batches and then throw it in my crock pot to take over to the party later. It's Christmas Day and we are getting our ham started. I'm using my new Ninja, I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, this cooker, and got my ham in there already. I did boil my glaze on the stove. It is just the packet that comes with the ham mixed with some orange juice, and I brought it up to a boil just to dissolve all of those granules. And I'm just going to pour that right over, and I'm going to let this go for a couple hours, and that is what we're having on Christmas Day. I'm just going to use this same pan that I cooked up that glaze to heat up some frozen sweet potatoes. Since I'm going to season them with more cinnamon and butter, then this will be just fine to use. My Christmas gift to myself was just making sure that we had an easy Christmas dinner. There's always so much going on Christmas Day, and I just want to have time to relax and enjoy everything. You can always make your desserts and everything ahead of time, but I don't really seem to have the time to do that this year. So, Marie Callender's it is. Our other dessert is just another Marie Callender's pie. This is just a frozen coconut cream pie. Sounded good. And all you have to do is thaw it out. So I'm just going to have that ready to go. Now I'm melting some butter in a pan here to make our stuffing. Did I take a lot of shortcuts this year? Yes. But you've heard the saying, choose your battles, right? I think that that's so important to remember during the holidays. It is so easy to get overwhelmed, and since we do such a big meal at Thanksgiving, and we really just only cook for ourselves on Christmas Day, so I like to keep it pretty simple and easy. And, you know, we're just using things that we like. We like the stovetop, so there's no need to make it complicated. Just make what you like. All I'm doing here is sauteing up these onions so that they can get soft. I would add celery, but I didn't have any, and that's okay. We forget things at Christmas. It's a given. And I'm also just keeping it real simple. I had this other container from Sam's Club of mashed potatoes. I just got another little Bob Evans one to add to it if we need it. We are doing our dinner a little early today, and I wanted to make sure that we have leftovers because I'm not cooking twice. And I considered doing a Christmas breakfast casserole or something like that, but this past year we've kind of changed up how we eat, and we're more than the breakfast type. I just added the water that the boxed stuffing mix called for to that butter and onion mix there. I'm using a box mix, so it has all the seasoning in it. Otherwise, I probably would have used some chicken broth at this point. Once that comes up to a boil, then I'll turn it off and add my 2 packs of stovetop stuffing mix. Okay, that water's boiling, so I'm just going to add my 2 packs of stuffing and seasoning. And I'm going to take it off the burner completely. Just have it here for now, just to show you. And I did mention that I'm keeping it easy with everything. So I have some frozen macaroni and cheese from Gordon's. And our apple pie is coming along. Okay, dinner is ready. And here is our ham. We're getting ready to take it out of the pot and slice it up. It's already a sliced spiral ham. All you have to basically do is cook those, warm them up, and then slice them, and they're ready to go. Let's come over here, check out our pies. Those will be for much later in the day. And everything else on the stove, we have our mac and cheese, some mashed potatoes. I did add almost a whole stick of butter to those potatoes. My sweet potatoes, I like them to be a little browned up, so I did turn my heat up high. I just added some brown sugar, cinnamon, and some salt and a little bit of water. That stuffing is all good to go. My husband loves canned peas, and so does one of my sons, so we have those with some butter and salt. And then we're just using some beef gravy for our mashed potatoes. It's what we prefer here. This is just jarred gravy, and like I mentioned earlier, it is just the 4 of us here for dinner today. So we're having what we like. If we were having company or like the whole family, I would probably look into making a different kind of gravy, but this is what we like, and that's what we're going to have. I jokingly just told everybody that this is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it really is.